Hello, my Saggy friends. So, Saggy, while I was quieting my mind before your reading, I got the sense of being kind of caught up in the minutia of like daily responsibilities and routines, and maybe, your mind being focused there, and that feeling of like, I don't want to be caught up in these little things. I like to think big. I like to think expansive. I like to think about, the spiritual things, the big things, the grand plans, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if that means anything to any of you, but that's what I felt. Um, and I figured I'd just share that with you before getting into the cards. So these messages are for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for September, but time is fluid and flexible, so you may find resonance with these messages whenever you view them, or you may find none at all since they are general. So just take anything that resonates with you, leave the rest for someone else, and never put anyone else's judgment or opinion above your own. You know what's best for you, Saggy, and the cards are just here as guides. So thank you for joining me here at High Priestess Influence. If you do find resonance with these, don't forget to just give it a thumbs up to help the channel. Okay, so let's get into the cards. And honestly, Saggy, when these cards were jumping out, I was kind of like, some of the messages like came through clearly, immediately, and others, I don't know what to make of them. So as I talk it out, we'll see what happens here. So in your recent past, Saggy, and recent is relative, it will be different for each of you. But there, I feel like you received unexpected news, something that throws your plan. I wanted to say existence, but that sounds kind of dramatic. But it kind of like throws your expectations, let's say, into like, not a well, I guess for some of you it could be a frenzy, and for others it's just like, oh wow, something unexpected has occurred and it's going to shake things up for me. Now this is, in your recent past. I don't feel like it's a bad thing. Actually, I never feel like the Tower is a bad thing, because the Tower is the universe stepping in for the purpose of your expansion, for the purpose of sending you in the direction of your desires and all that. It's kind of like when you don't get into alignment with it yourself. Like you know what I feel like it is? Okay, I feel like your desire is so strong for something, and it has been for a long time, but you're not seeing the signs as far as the direction you should take. You're not recognizing the cues from the universe. You're ignoring, or maybe even willfully ignoring things because, I don't want to do that, or I'm afraid to take that step, or whatever. So then the Tower steps in and forces you into a change, basically. And so some of you may have found that something in your life is shaken up, is different, is heading in a different direction, and it is a good thing. So just keep that in mind. So what's interesting here, though, is in September, or whenever you're listening to this, I'll talk about it as if it's September, though. You are, I think you're recognizing that you are changing your viewpoint. In other words, when the Tower first occurred, I feel as though you were looking at it as a negative. You were looking at it as something to be dealt with, or something that you didn't want to happen, or why is this happening to me? But in September, you are letting go of that and realizing the value of this shakeup. You are accepting it, and I feel like you're like, I'm physically seeing you like turn around, like say this Five of Cups, right? Upright, this figure is only looking at the negative, but there is positive all around him, right? The upright cups, the bridge over the river, and the castle, right? But he's only focusing on the spilled cups, the negative. But you are letting that go. So I feel as though you're literally turning things around. You're turning things around. And what's amazing here is you have a tremendous opportunity to experience a whole new world for yourself, a whole new way of existing. It's kind of like maybe this, oh yeah, this tower experience. And even if you're thinking, well, I didn't really have a tower experience, depending on how you react to it, it may not seem like a big deal. Everyone seems to think the tower has to be extremely disruptive, but it isn't necessarily always so. It really isn't. But this tower is providing you an opportunity to, it's causing the end of a cycle and providing you with the opportunity for a whole new way of being, a whole new way of life. With the tower too, you may be almost being like kind of kicked out of your home. And that might be the end of, this is just an example, but being the end of, a cycle or a phase in your life. And that part of your life is wrapping up, but it's ushering in the brand new opportunity, the brand new way of being, the brand new world for you, and you truly desire clarity. You truly desire clarity. The tower may have left you with a feeling of uncertainty, and you have a choice here as to how you are going to deal with this uncertainty. I just got the expression, ride the wave. Ride the wave, Saggy. Instead of fighting it and swimming against the current, ride the wave. And with this opportunity, with this world energy here, I mean, that's a beautiful, beautiful energy and opportunity of wrapping things up and starting the next phase of your life here. Wow, I really like this. Yes, you're looking for clarity. You're looking for help making a decision. So in the example of being kind of like kicked out of your residence, if you want to take it literally with the tower, right? You might be deciding, you might have a couple of options as to where you want to go. But in that message that we got, ride the wave, it's really about allowing and going with the flow and recognizing that everything always works out for you. That's why the tower isn't a bad thing, because the sooner you can get into alignment with a tower experience, the sooner you can recognize its value and where it is leading to you, leading you to. I've recently had a couple of tower experiences where, initially my reaction, knee-jerk reaction. What the heck? Why is this happening? But then, I just chill. I try to practice what I preach, you know what I mean? Like, tap into the energies and allow. And then I find out why, because something that I hadn't thought of or hadn't imagined comes out of it. And it's positive and helpful. And sometimes it's wonderful and amazing, I mean, they were all different extents, of tower experiences and the results that they bring. But if you can ride the wave, go with the flow, be easy about it, the sooner you can do that, the more clarity you will gain and you will know what choice to make. So interestingly, you've got some powerful energy and a balance between the masculine and feminine here in your like your subconscious. Okay, it's kind of like, yeah, well, you might not know because this is kind of deep down inside. Some of you might recognize this when I say this, and others might deny it, but it's there. You have the like wisdom, power, experience of the King of Swords. You know, you've got all of the knowledge, wisdom, and experience that you need to take on whatever challenges you're facing, Saggy. You've got that power. But you've also got that emotional balance, that calm, loving side of the Queen of Cups. This is what is within you, Saggy. This is the energy that is available for you to tap into. If you can recognize that you've got all the answers and you've got that emotional clarity that you need, you can tap into that power. And again, you can attain the clarity you desire. You have very powerful energy in your subconscious that's just waiting to be tapped into. You will know what to do. And I love the balance of the energy between the masculine and the feminine in this. That's amazing. Okay, so when you can recognize this power within yourself, it'll make it easier for you to recognize the power and tap into the clarity that it brings. So, you know, with the Death card here, you are being encouraged to, this is really like a go with the flow message, in the sense that you need to allow the natural ending of this cycle, of this phase, so that you can allow the new to enter. So really, this is about not resisting the Tower, not resisting the unexpected changes, not resisting the things that at first glance or first experience or in the first moments might feel unwanted or might feel unwelcome, or like a shakeup, like your whole world is being rattled and rocked. Okay, the Death card here is advising you to accept it, because this is the natural progress of the situation of your life, whatever this is. I mean, you have some really powerful energy here, right? With the Tower and the World and the Death card here. You know, these three major arcanas. So it's kind of like, if you really just want to read the three major arcanas here, I'm feeling the shakeup of the Tower is the ending of one cycle and the opportunity for a fresh new beginning in the new cycle, if you can allow it. And you allow it here by recognizing it as progress, as the natural ending of something, so the new can be allowed in. And with the World, that new opens up tremendous capacity for new experiences, new places, people, and things, and a new way of being in the world. And, you know, as we do progress through life, we do go through these changes and phases, these natural progressions. You know, parts of the old, the old parts of us, the old unnecessary or parts of us that don't serve us anymore, like if we can let them, they die off and make room for new insights, new experiences, new growth and expansion, both in the physical realm and the spiritual realm. So this is pretty fascinating, Saggy. Okay, so let's see here. We have the Six of Pentacles reversed. Okay, you know what? For some of you, it might be your finances that are kind of challenging you in a way. In other words, you experienced this unexpected, unintended, maybe ending of something. And when you look at maybe your bank account or your saving, well, the bank account is your savings, your income is what I meant to say, or what have you, you may feel like you are unprepared. It may be making you feel like you, okay, yeah, might be making you feel like, okay, this happened and now I'm going through big changes and I need to kind of like save my money. I need to put myself first. And you should always put yourself first, Saggy, in the sense that if you are not in alignment, you are no good to anyone around you anyway. So you do want to take that time to tend to your own needs and put yourself first. But I do feel compelled to tell you, don't get too wrapped up in the feeling like money is going out and not coming in. Don't get too wrapped up in that energy, because that will just set you off on, start a negative momentum for you when you're already, working on going through these changes here. So the guidance here is to kind of like, I'm getting the feeling of kind of like putting that aside, putting that on a shelf, out of sight, out of mind. Like I almost want to turn this over and say, okay, don't let the lack of or the not enough flow of money into your experience affect your vibration and the direction in which you are heading. Okay, so yeah, here's another card where you're looking for clarity, right? You're hoping for clarity. You're hoping that you will recognize the right opportunity when it shows up. So in other words, there's a little bit of resistance, doubt here I'm feeling with this Four of Cups. In other words, you're looking for this clarity, but there's a part of you that worries that you might not recognize it when it shows itself. So in other words, like doubting. Yeah, I'm feeling a sense of doubting your own clarity, doubting your own decision making. Again, worried that you won't recognize the right offer. So, if you, in the example of, being literally tossed out of your residence and that phase ending, ready to start a new one, moving forward, moving into a new phase, but will I recognize the right opportunity when it shows itself? Will I recognize where I should go? Which home is right for me, or which city, which town, or even if this is related to a job, right? You got tossed from your job. Will I make the right choice when the offer comes in, when the right offer comes in? Will I recognize it? There's a little bit of a resistance here. There's a little bit of a concern that you won't see it, but in the long run, you will have much to celebrate. You will be, actually, I was going to say you will be so grateful for that tower, but I feel as though unless you remember these messages, you might actually forget about the tower, and you might not even relate it to the fact that now you are where you want to be. Now you are celebrating where you landed. Actually, yeah, look at that card, where you landed, right? So it's kind of like you started here. You started with the tower and then landed with the Three of Cups. But you will have much to celebrate. And also the three is the number of creation, creativity, getting started. So when you are getting started in this new phase of your life or your career or your relationship or whatever this is for you, when you land in that place where you're really starting to create things and you are moving forward, you will have much to celebrate. So this is really, really exciting, Saggy. I said I didn't know where this was going, but I do now. So in September, you will be recognizing the value of a tower experience. I feel like it's kind of like a gradual turning around and seeing the light, and then kind of being in awe here that how well this is turning out, how this unexpected, unintended ending is bringing you wonderful opportunities, and just going with the flow and allowing the old to die out. And also keep in mind, this death energy is not the tower, maybe it's the news you got. That is a quick energy, but the old phase, it will die out. You will have time, is basically what I'm trying to say. I feel like you will have time. And the more allowing you become, the more easy you are, the more you go with the flow of the endings, the easier the transition will be. And you will have much to celebrate. You will have the clarity you need, and you will make the right decisions. So this is beautiful, Saggy. Very interesting. I'm so curious as to what this might be. But having said that, let's grab a Law of Attraction card and see if there's any additional guidance for Saggy. Maybe sometimes there might be guidance that will help you through this transition, because that's what it feels like. Oh, that's too many. I'm dropping them all over the place. Actually, you know what? You got 3, so I'll read 3 if you want to bear with me. Okay. To the degree I am happy, I am successful. I think I know where this is going. Whether it's a trophy, money, relationships, or things, the achievement of anything that you desire must be considered success. But if you will let your standard of success be your achievement of joy, everything else will then fall easily into place. For in the finding of joy, you are finding the vibrational alignment with the resources of the universe. Okay, so I feel like this is your situation in September here, where you are turning around, right? Instead of just looking at the spilled cups, you're turning things around, and you're looking at the parts of your life that are going right. You're looking at the successes. You're looking at the positive. And with the death card here, you are allowing everything to fall into place. You're allowing that natural progression. Okay, let's see. I divide each day into segments of intentions. Okay, so I think this is going to be a recommendation for how you might kind of align yourself throughout the day. The point from which you are consciously perceiving, that point is a segment. Your day may be divided into many segments. It is not necessary to have a rigid schedule of segments, but it is important that you clearly identify when you are moving from one segment of intentions into another segment of intentions. Okay, so I feel as though this might be a great recommendation for kind of going with the flow and allowing the natural progression here, the natural ending and the natural beginning. And what this card is trying to say is that every time you go into a new segment of your day, be aware and be deliberate. And what I would say, I know the card doesn't say this, but I would say in every segment of your day, kind of look for things to appreciate. Have high expectations for that segment, and just take it one segment at a time. And if you take it one segment at a time, it will make it easier for you to move through these changes. In fact, these changes, actually, if you take it one segment at a time and your intentions are positive and your vibration is high as you move into each segment, there's no way it can't be smooth and easy, because you will be working on maintaining a high vibration as you go throughout the day. So let's say you wake up in the morning and you remember to set your intentions for the day. Okay, as I get ready this morning, I'm going to be calm and relaxed, and it's going to be pleasant, and I feel really good about it, and I intend to just be easy about my morning and not get don't even say not get flustered. Just say I intend to be easy about my morning and go with the flow. And when you really not only speak the words, but it's more about the feeling. When you can feel the feeling of ease and flow in each segment of your day, that's a high vibration, and you attract that like energy back to you in your experience. And if you can segment your day like that, let's say you're leaving the house and you're going to be driving in traffic, set the intention in that segment that on the drive to work, you're going to relax, it's going to be pleasant, you'll listen to great music on the radio or something like that, or what have you. You'll have high expectations for that segment. Let's say you arrive at work, have set high intentions for that segment. That will make this transition not just smooth, but enjoyable, joyful, fun, exciting. And that's what we're dealing with here with the Three of Cups. It becomes a celebration. In your third card here is, as I enjoy people, I attract enjoyable people. I want great relationships. I so enjoy nice, clever, funny, energetic, stimulating people, and I love knowing that this planet is abundant with them. It seems that the more I enjoy people, the more people whom I enjoy come into my experience. I love this time of spectacular co-creation. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I'm seeing here the Three of Cups, the joy, the great relationships, the celebrating with others, sharing your joys with others. But what this card is trying to say is, if you want to attract good people into your life, you have to expect the people in your life to be good. You have to expect the best from the people in your life and the relationships in your life. And then you will attract more and more and more of those. And this applies to anything. It's specifically dealing with people in this card, but it really applies to anything. And some of you might even want to pause and write this down, because if some of you are attracting unwanted people, if that tower experience has to do with unwanted people in your life, or people who aren't cooperative, who aren't fun and clever and energetic, then you might actually want to pause this and write this down and almost just repeat this now and then out loud and feel the energy and start to believe it. Make it like a mantra. Actually, I should, not that I have bad people in my life, but to attract even more great people, I think I might take my own advice there. Okay, let us grab an Angel of Light card for you, Saggy. Whoa. Okay. I don't know if you saw those. Those two like literally jumped out. Ooh, I like laughter. Let's do understanding first. I mean, understanding is great too, I'm sure, but laughter. I love it. Okay, understanding. Your angel guidance is to examine yourself and your current situation in depth so that you have a clear awareness of the underlying tensions for your challenges and situations. Okay, so in regard to that tower experience that you had already, you might find it challenging, but it needn't be so. Acquaint yourself with facts about situations and attitudes before you make decisions. Self-awareness is a necessary foundation on which to build strong relationships, friendships, and work. Understanding your personality is a basis for understanding your spiritual self and your mission on earth. Ask your angel to help you. And the affirmation says, I seek understanding of myself and my life. So I just want to point something out here. This understanding card really seems to be dealing a lot with, other people. When we talk about relationships, friendships, and work. Self-awareness is a necessary foundation on which to build strong relationships, friendship, and work. And this card that I recommended some of you might want to copy down and read out loud is really all about attracting the right kind of people, the right kinds of relationships, whether these are personal relationships or business relationships, or even the passing relationships in our day, in our lives, when we encounter, people in the supermarket or what have you, the people that we end up talking to on the phone when we're maybe placing orders or we're, doing our jobs. The vibration of understanding is a very high one. But let's get to laughter, because I love to laugh, Saggy. Love it. And I'm sure a lot of you do too. Laughter is a wonderful healer. It shakes out fear. That just brings me right to the tower. It shakes out fear and leaves you feeling happier, clearer, and more relaxed. Remember that angels fly because they take themselves lightly. So make light of difficulties and see the funny side of situations. Make light of difficulties. That's all about dealing with the tower. Remember, the tower is there to serve you. It's sending you in the direction that you've been ignoring. And the tower, the universe, it's all energetic. And the universe basically knows what your desires are, what you want, what your intentions are. And sometimes you ignore the path, right? We all do. And the tower is here to set you in the direction you desire. And if you can make light of it, if you can take it lightly, it won't be so difficult. And sometimes there is a funny side to these things if you step back and you look at it. So laugh at yourself with others. Here we go. 3 of Cups, right? They're celebrating and laughing and toasting. Laugh at yourself and with others. When you relax and laugh, your angels drop in new suggestions and ideas which can transform difficulty into delight. Okay, there we go. The 2 of Swords, the clarity that you're looking for. Okay, laughter brings lightness, which brings clarity. Laughter is the sunshine which dissolves the darkness, so be merry, joyous, and fun-filled. And the affirmation is, I see the humor in everything. That's a really high vibration to live in too. If you can laugh at the things that seem like mishaps, then they are no longer mishaps. They become funny stories, or they become lighter. They become less burdensome, less important even in the scheme of things. So Saggy, some interesting messages here for you. I mean, I actually feel like sitting down with you and talking and finding out what is going on, because you're going into a new phase. and it seems like you're being forced into a new phase, but it's amazing and it's wonderful. And new phases are always great, right? We don't want to be stuck and stagnant, but sometimes we're afraid to move forward. Sometimes the opportunities present themselves and we forget, I shouldn't say we forget, and we like ignore them or we doubt them, and then they pass us by. That's no problem, because the tower will step in and set you straight, put you on the path that you need to go, to the path that you need to be on. So Saggy, I hope you found value and resonance with these messages. If you did, consider giving it a thumbs up. Either way though, thanks for being with me, Saggy. I hope September is amazing. And if you do have a big change or a big move in your life, boy, would I love to hear about it. Okay, Saggy, see you soon.